Everything more call about Edoba a year daily update TV. So now just and some better happen said finally a year speaker of parliament what dissolve the 8th parliament as I say no union is a 9th parliament and net and our mobile in and now machi and our mobile in Tienko a year inauguration a year speaker of parliament and now omudigu akwamuno or the dissolve a year the 8th parliament over here a year Michael Kwe to Dora Georgina Wood and paying for to chiri the pa and a BP Mujumedi Nasi. You're going to see and go live a feed with Nemra.
Has a lot of work in him. He is the man of the moment. You didn't hear me. He is the man of the moment. Only last week, he was awarded the enviable record of being the first chartered historian in the Republic of Ghana. He's the first, there's nobody else. He's the first chartered historian we have. Ladies and gentlemen, in all humility, let us all rise as we invite the Right Honorable Speaker of the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana, the Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, with a big round of applause.
Thank you so much. I hope I'm heard. Please kindly be seated. I'm actually not the chartered historian. The chartered historian is right in front of me. My Chief of Staff, Honorable Kofi Ato. He is a chartered historian. I am uncharted. Let's once again applaud the sweet voices of democracy. I'm extremely grateful for your presence, and I want, with your kind indulgence, to acknowledge the presence of everybody here. You all matter to us. You are all distinguished personalities, and together we work to develop Ghana and the world. I want, before I continue, to convey to you the apologies of the leadership and the members of Parliament here. As you know, today is going to signal the end of the 8th Parliament of the 4th Republic of Ghana. And the caucuses are having their usual meetings to try to ensure that we have a smooth and harmonious transition from the 8th Parliament to the 9th Parliament. And so they are over there now, and they took a bit of my time, which is what led to the late start of this whole ceremony. And so on behalf of the leaders and members of Parliament, I sincerely apologize to all of you for keeping you waiting, and we are extremely grateful for your patience and tolerance. With this, let me acknowledge the presence of my seniors. We have, as we've been told, our mother, the Speaker of the 6th Parliament, fifth parliament of the Fourth Republic. My Lord, Right Honorable Justice Adelaide Bamford Adu. I served as a majority leader under her, and it was a very, very important period for me. I learned how to temper my vibrancy with her coolness as a very astute judge of the Supreme Court. And she tutored me a lot, and I took her as one of my role models. Before the Right Honorable Aaron Michael Quay, the professor himself, who took me in my early days as a very young MP as one of our resource persons in our workshops on democracy, parliamentary practice and procedures. And so I wasn't surprised that he rose up to become the Speaker of the Parliament of Ghana, and that is the 7th Parliament of the Fourth Republic of Ghana. We are greatly honored with your presence here, and I must thank you for the value addition to my life. We have, as we've been told, the acting clerk. He's not a new face. In fact, people refer to him as the face of Parliament, because he's been the head of the table office for a long time. And so anytime people tune into the Parliament of Ghana, he's seated there as the head of the table office. Mr. Ebenezer Ahuma Jatro is a reverend, and so he likes preaching, and I think it's now part of his passion. So we are grateful for the message, and what I'm simply going to do is just to emphasize some of the points they raised in their submissions, and maybe add a bit of history to it as a student of history. After that, I'll ask some questions so that those who can tell me the meaning of Vasco da Gama, I'll give the person a prize. Vasco da Gama, particularly the meaning of da Gama. This one you should know, very simple. So let me thank you for making time to join us to commission the museum here in Parliament. As we gather today on this momentous occasion, we stand at the confluence of our nation's rich history and the vibrant future of our democracy. The commissioning of this museum presents us as a nation a unique opportunity to not only celebrate our past, but also envision the role of history in shaping our democratic journey. This museum stands as a testament to not only to the pillars of democracy that support our way of governance, but also to the enduring spirit of Ghanaian tradition and identity forged through ages past. In the words of Robert Hesslin, an American author, a generation which ignores history has no past and no future. This underscores the importance of history in our life. Our own Nelson Mandela tells us that our rich and varied cultural heritage has a profound power to help build our nation. And so our history, though turbulent, is a very rich one which we must preserve and promote for the benefit of the younger generation and those yet unborn. The youth and prosperity must appreciate where we have come from as a nation. This will serve as a useful lesson to avoid the mistakes of the past. The trajectory of our political history derives its source from how our society was organized prior to the arrival of the Europeans, explorers and traders, who named our land Gold Coast. And that is a translation into English. The Portuguese did not call us Gold Coast. They call us by the name what land? Who can tell me? This is how important history is. Del Minan. And the first people arrived as Shama in 1471. And so you can see the cross there at Shama. The trajectory of our political history, as I said, derives its source from our society, which was organized prior to the arrival of the Europeans, explorers and traders, who named our land the Gold Coast del Minan. This was followed by centuries of the despicable transatlantic slave trade through to the era of colonial rule. The resilience of our forefathers and their determination to reclaim self-rule led to a series of agitations and reactions that culminated in our political independence in 1957. Our beloved country finally attained republican status in 1960. The struggle did not end there. The country was yet to grapple with a series of coups that toppled the first, second, and third republics until the country's eventual return to constitutional rule in 1993. We don't need any evidence to tell us that what concerns us must be decided by us all. One of the main reasons why the 1992 Constitution stayed up to date is because it was the decision of all of us, not by any group in the society. Everybody matters in life. And we all drafted it together, and we all took the decision in the referendum, and we all felt that we are part and parcel of that document, and so we all decided to obey it. And that is how come, and that I said, one of the reasons why we are broken the jinx, and we've been along this path for 32 good years now. Throughout these periods, Parliament has had its own unique history. The struggle for legislative inclusion and participation in governance dates as far back as the pre-colonial and the colonial era, when leading citizens of the Gold Coast agitated and demanded for the colonial government to allow for citizens' representation in decision-making processes. The Legislative Council was first established in the Gold Coast in 1866 to advise the colonial administration on enacting laws. It was, however, not until the 1888 that the first African unofficial member, John Saba, was nominated to the council. Don't forget that John Mensah Saba was the first full-blooded Ghanaian to be called to the bar in 1887 as a lawyer. But before that, there was one.
I was sure that's how I did brain or can work with Medino. That is over 8th Parliament, a course so and none they are a speaker, Bagbin, a chair, and that is a born home pa, or share a quaya, a year after your markings, the judiciary, a charge as a more intimidate or mono. Nina Ujinana Namon so make sure say a near Juma as a near Juma. That is a fenor markings, I then. And as a speaker, I then or born home pirate tension a bar, a chrome speaker, the way say fast or handle issue now, or ya deeper. Now, finally, a 9th Parliament or so, ya 10 and from say a year speaker, Bobby, or no, and a bed chair, a year, the 9th Parliament, and it's a must because now buying so now I buy. I daily update TV so share you made in more maybe and some can be. God bless you. We give you the best 24/7 your report and seminar at the Asumo. God bless you.